Hello, welcome to my website. This video is for those of you interested in an astrology reading. I'm going to be explaining what to expect, what I offer, and how you can come prepared in order for the best experience and the most useful astrology reading to unfold. So first of all, in terms of the structuring of my readings, you will purchase the reading through my website from my booking calendar, which will list my availability in your local time zone. And so, as long as you're in the same location, the time that you sign up for will be the time that we meet for your astrology reading. Upon completing purchase, you will be redirected to a survey, and that survey will have some very important questions that I will use to help direct and steer the reading. Now, each and every reading that I do is highly unique and personalized per individual set of circumstances, the time in which you find yourself, etc. And so in my individual readings, I offer 60-minute and 90-minute sessions. And in those readings, I take a look at your natal birth chart, the transits, the current and movements of the planets throughout time, through recent years into future years, as well as the progressions, which is a similar lifelong unfolding of yourself and your potential through time. Now, in regards to the most useful astrology reading being possible, there are really two main ingredients which are largely outside of the astrologer's control. And those two major ingredients are timing and intention. The timing and the intention going into the reading will be the thing that most directs and allows for an astrology reading to really happen. And what I mean by that is it's important that you come into the reading with questions. And those questions can be rather deep, they can be broad, they can be existential, they can be, why have I always felt this way throughout my life? Why have I had these redundant experiences happen to me throughout these life? These are these challenges, etc., that I can't seem to get out of. These are questions which are thick, they're juicy, and they're rich, and they allow for many things to unfold and be shared through the interaction in the astrology reading. The other important ingredient is timing, which means that there is a time in which these questions are ripe. You know, there are times, for example, when we are dealing with habits or structures or cycles, and it's just not the time for those things to change or end. And so oftentimes people seek out an astrology reading when they feel ready for something to go, when they want something to change, when there is that burning and that discontent or frustration can oftentimes be very useful in allowing for tools and realizations and discoveries to come out of that creative friction. And so it's really up to you to provide that creative friction. And I will begin each reading with you beginning by asking the question, how can I help you? What questions do you have? Where do you find yourself in your life today? And by explaining these things to me, that is what allows me to personalize and make the reading as useful for your unique situation as I possibly can. Now, for my relationship readings, it's a little bit different because obviously it's a little less intimate and personal, especially if I'm talking to more than one person. And it may be that, the relationship is present, or I'm doing a relationship reading for one person about another person. In the relationship reading, we take a look at the natal birth chart. We take a look at your synastry, which is how your individual dynamics compare, how you guys mesh, where friction is happening, where harmony is happening, where learning and growth is happening. And comparing both of your individual charts, we can see how you too can help each other serve one another's individual evolutionary growth, which personally I see as the function of relationship, two souls coming together to help one another out, learn, and grow. We also take a look at the composite chart, which is a look at the actual energy of your relationship dynamic itself. It fuses the two individual charts together into a third entity that is the relationship itself. And so we're talking about the dynamics, the energy of your relationship, how as a couple or as, two souls, you have been learning and growing together through lifetimes, and how this can continue into the future. Now, in regards to all of the above, it's very important to understand that I cannot choose decisions for you. I cannot direct or steer your life for you. I cannot live your life for you. And upon finishing the survey, there is a karma contract that each of my clients has to sign. And all that contract really says is that you will make your own decisions and make your own choices in life. Yes, the astrology reading can be enormously useful in providing an objective reflection of your life, your situation, your qualities, etc., back to yourself. The astrology reading can also be reaffirming, a reaffirming of what you're already feeling, of where you're already going, etc. And so these reflections can be very useful in making your own decisions, but these decisions making will ultimately be up to you. So, again, to reflect and summarize, two most important ingredients are timing and intention. And what I mean by intention is what you bring to the survey, what you bring to the reading is what will come out of the reading. In the past, I have had people come into the reading and they didn't have any intention. In fact, some people come into the reading simply wanting to prove astrology as true. And they oftentimes come in with a lot of skepticism and ask me questions that are more testing, such as, tell me what my current job is. Tell me what my current interests are. And those are the most useless readings where very little comes out that's going to offer anything. And so, if you want to know whether or not astrology is real, I suggest you bring some real intention into the reading. And then the proof is in the pudding and it will speak for itself. Now, some other things that I want to throw out there is, again, in terms of the questions and the things that I can best offer, I do encourage people to go for the deep stuff, for their lifelong questions that can be broad and deep, and we do a lot of talking about unconscious dynamics, past dynamics, etc. What I do not specialize in is health or medical questions, as if that's the only thing that you're inquiring about. I don't do business inquiries if that's the only thing that you're inquiring about. I do not do birth time rectification. For those of you who do not know your birth time, your time of birth, that can be determined through using astrology, almost reverse engineering to find your time of birth. It's a rather technical and tedious process, which is why I don't do it. If you are interested in health, medical, business, birth rectification, I can recommend astrologers that specialize in those things for you. I'm not going to try to offer what I am not naturally gifted at, and those are highly specialized areas within astrology. Okay? So I hope that generally answers all of your questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me at contact@rosalilihealing.com. Following each of these readings, you will receive an email with your birth chart attached, as well as a recorded MP3 audio file of our meeting. And so all of my readings are done in person, whether meeting here or online through Skype, Google Hangouts, Zoom meetings, or FaceTime. Whatever works for you, as long as we are meeting in a specific time and a specific space. That reading will unfold, it will be recorded, and then it will be emailed to you. And so, I look forward to connecting with you. I thank you for visiting my site and for having interest in my readings, and I wish you all the best in your life journey and all your future endeavors.